tools that we were really interested in is the Rapport tracking, and that is really to discuss how many times you are talking to students in a positive manner, a neutral manner, and a negative manner. The main purpose of the tracker was to really see, just how much we were interacting with our students and building that rapport, which is so important. I had Stephanie Schellenberger, a instructional coach, be part of this team, and she was able to come in and videotape my interactions with students, basically split it up again into the positive, the negative, and neutral. And so Stephanie came in during one of my morning meeting times, which flows into some language arts, and she recorded everything I said to 4 of these students in my class that I previously mentioned. And about a couple days or a week later, we then reviewed the tape and reviewed the information, and the results were pretty astounding. 3 of the 4 students that I were focusing on were Caucasian students, and one of the students was an African American young man. And my takeaway was that I spoke to him in more negative terms a lot more than the other 3 students. So for me, I was kind of appalled because, again, I went through the certification process. I've been a DRT for 5 years. I thought I was doing a great job, but I still have room for improvement. And so I had to think about the next steps. And so after reflecting on the information, I wanted to make sure that I was taking the time to get to know this one particular student. I reached out to his family. I was able to go to a baseball game and where I sat and cheered him on. I also got to sit and talk with his stepmom and his father as well. And it just was a really wonderful time to really kind of bridge that gap that he and I had. Connecting with something he really loved, like baseball and football, has really helped me to kind of see another side of him. He's a struggling learner and has some behavior issues, so I was focusing on those things and not really focusing on the wonderful things that this child was doing in my class. So that was the step that he knows that I'm an advocate for him. He knows that, I'm in his corner and that his parents and I have a good relationship. He knows that Mom and I, we text one another when, things are happening, whether good or bad. His dad is just a phone call away if we need to. So I think building that relationship with the family was a really important key to the success of this child. And again, just getting to know the child a little bit better and seeing that we actually had a lot more in common than I had first realized. I didn't think we had a lot in common, and I thought maybe that was the barrier and why I was having more negative interactions, but now I feel like I've made a stronger connection with him. So another takeaway is to really look at your students, especially your struggling students. Those are the kids that kind of sometimes slip through the cracks, or the ones that we don't build relationships with because it's harder to do. So I think it's taking that time to get to know them, build relationships with families. And the best resource that I used was other colleagues in my school, and I used an instructional coach. And by working together, we were able to kind of tweak Zaretta Hammond's rapport building tool and make it our own, and it has really helped my classroom tremendously and my relationships with students.